What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be talking about 2023. The handguns I carried the most. Now you're going to say, handguns, why? And the answer is because I have a little bit of a carry rotation. I have different pistols for different things. For instance, if I only carried one pistol, and let's say it was this Glock 45, I would never be able to have deep concealment, wouldn't be able to do activities in a comfortable way. Now all the people who carry full size are going to say, yes you can, I've done it. You are not more comfortable than someone carrying a Mossberg MC2 SC. You're not more comfortable than someone carrying a SIG P365. It's just reality. Come down to it. And before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. Chances are you guys aren't going to believe this list. Let's get into it. First off is going to be my most carried handgun. But that's because I carry it while working. So 5 days a week, 55 to 60 hours per week, this is my pocket carry choice. This is what I carry. Obviously, when I get my work van, I throw it appendix. But it's the M&P Shield in 357 SIG. When it comes down to reliability and power out of a short barrel, even though you're not reaching the foot-pound energy to stop a human completely, you're getting up there. And with the right defensive ammo, you are definitely getting up there. There is ammo out there that gets so close to that 500 foot-pound mark, it's unbelievable, even out of a shorter barrel. But this handgun, I just love the feel of it, especially with the hoe grip. It just fits my hand really well. Feels good. I like the little bump out from that grip. Threw some night sights on it, and it's good to go. Never given me one single issue or hiccup. The only issue I would say is the price of 357 SIG, but that's why I shoot it a minimal amount. But I also shoot my Shield 40. I shoot my Shield Plus. I'm very used to the way that this handgun feels and how it shoots. Absolutely love this thing. This is my most carried handgun. Next up, you guys are probably going to guess what it is, and you'll be right about it, is a form of a Glock 26. I have many Glock 26s. They all see carry time randomly depending on how I'm feeling. A lot of people mention that my slide doesn't look like it has any marks on it from carry or holster time. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're referring to. This thing has gotten actually pretty beat up now that I'm taking a look at it. And I change out my slides pretty often, but yeah, that thing's starting to get a little bit of holster wear. But honestly, looks pretty cool, like my FN 503. My 503 is destroyed. The finish, destroyed. Dented, all sorts of stuff. But it just showed that you carried it, you practiced drawing, and you did what you're supposed to do as a legal gun owner, which is have it on you and practice with it. Absolutely love this handgun right here. Little dirty, but Glock 26, you cannot beat its reliability. Every Glock 26 I've ever owned, not a single hiccup, except for with a Hive base plate, and that's where the rounds, the spring got stuck on that base plate, so the rounds never even fed. The Glock didn't even have the opportunity to function. Next up is going to be my pocket pistol. I've been carrying the Glock 42 the most as a pocket pistol. Now I carry it in a Vetter pocket locker holster, as it is the best way to go, and this thing just runs. Now I know a lot of people have had issues with their Glock 28s, as have I, but also with their Glock 42s. For some reason, Glock tends to have a little bit of issues with their 380s. I'm not sure what it is. It's obviously the spring, because that's the only way mine was fixed, was changing out the recoil spring and guide rod, and now mine functions flawlessly, but I'll never carry the Glock 28. But this, and once again, I just want to point out, once again, me talking about malfunctions on Glocks. When I said that I had malfunctions with my SIGs, people lost it, freaked out, went crazy. I don't get it. But Glock 42, love this thing. It's starting to have a little bit of wear and tear, but I really practice pocket draw. I really do, because I pocket carry a lot, and it is a slower way, in my opinion, to get to that handgun, but at the same time, it's needed. Bike rides. Going to family members who are against guns houses, right? I remember the story, like my mom's like, you need to tell them you're bringing a firearm while you're sleeping over there. And they have kids and all that. I'm like, yeah, but why, right? Because they're against it. We know they're going to say no. I'm going to bring it anyways. And on top of that, I'm responsible. If you practice gun safety and are responsible, it should not matter who has a gun. I'm just being real. If they are smart, if they are safe, if they are good with handguns, you should trust them. So this is the way to go. Throw it in your pocket. No one even has to know. But practice your pocket draws. Definitely practice your pocket draws. Next up, you guys are definitely guessing this, but my Hellcat. Absolutely love the Hellcat. I love the finish on it. I love its capacity for its size. I love the overall ergonomics on it, especially with this grip. But just a good shooting handgun. No, it's not the flattest shooting. Doesn't have the least recoil of all the Micro 9s, but it's the one that I like the most. And I'm not always 100% sure why that is, other than its reliability and ergonomics. but the thing just runs. It's just like a Glock 19. You just have a good feeling when you're carrying it. You know it's going to go bang every single time. So yeah, Springfield Armory Hellcat. Next up, you guys probably guessed, but the Glock 27. You know, sometimes when you just want that 40, you know, a little bit extra power out of the same size handgun as a 26. I love my 27. I personally love the 27s. That's why I have like 4 or 5 of them at this point. I just love them. They just run. They're the same as my Glock 26s. They just run. When you take a handgun that's been in the civilian and law enforcement market for 30 years, they run. They just run. It just is what it is. It's an awesome handgun for almost anybody. Now, the 40 can be a little snappy. What's nice about the 27, you can always convert it to 9mm, always convert it to 357 SIG, and there are 22 long rifle conversion kits for it. But the 27 never failed me, never rusted, never one single hiccup with this handgun. Now, yes, it's a little thick like my Glock 26 is, but who cares? It conceals just fine, and it shoots even better. Next up is going to be a newer one, but I've been carrying it for a long time towards the end of the year. As you can see, very little wear on it, right? Just a little bit up here. Let's check the other side. This is a newer handgun. That's holster. It's a newer handgun to my carry rotation, but I've really fallen in love with the Mossberg MC2SC. What I like about it is its grip size for how small it is, right? The Micro 9s, the SIG P365, those grips are so thin and small, you can't do anything with it. The Shield Plus, to me, is a great handgun, but the grip feels a little awkward to me without a hoe grip, just like you saw on my Shield 357 SIG. The Mossberg has ergonomics on point. Awesome flat face trigger, great shooting handgun, not a single issue with it. This will be carried a lot in 2024 for sure. I do like this handgun better, even though the Mossberg, I carry it a bit more. The Shield Plus. I do like the Shield Plus better. It is a better overall handgun than the Mossberg, hands down. But for me, with my hands, I have hand pain. I work with my hands. Sometimes gripping this handgun just doesn't feel as good anymore. I might throw a whole grip on it like I did with my Shield. But overall, you can't beat this trigger. The ergonomics, reliability, and that price tag. And the texturing is just on point. I really don't want to cover it up with a whole grip. But awesome shooting handgun. The Shield Plus is the best in its class, especially for the value. Next up is one of my cheaper handguns because I bought it used for $300, but I love this thing. This thing is just, I don't know why it doesn't sell. People carry compacts, right? People carry Micro 9s. Why is everyone against subcompacts? It just makes no sense. It's like the best of both worlds. It's like a combination of the two. But this thing right here, 10 plus 1 of 40. It is a subcompact, even though it's labeled C. That's because it's the 1.0. Law enforcement trade-in. Awesome condition. I've put a lot of the scratches and barrel wear and stuff like that on this firearm from carry. But when I got it for $300, this thing just was a beautiful handgun. Absolutely beautiful. I love the way it feels in my hand. That is the number one thing I like about this 40 right here. And the way it handles recoil. The way it grips, the ergonomics are just awesome for how small it is. But at the same time, this big, thick, heavy, fat slide really does absorb that recoil. 3.5 or 3.6 inch barrel. I think it's 3.5. But stainless steel. You cannot beat this setup for everyday carry. It has a rail, unlike a Glock 27. But I just love this thing. It's just something about it. And I bought it used. And that's the thing. Everyone wants the best, the greatest, the newest, the latest. Sometimes you should just go with something that works. And that was built to last and built like a tank. It's like cars back in the day. They were built to last, built like tanks. Everything nowadays is cheap pieces of crap. Just being real with you guys. Next up, my Glock 30. I love my Glock 30. It is one of my favorite handguns to shoot at the range simply because of how it handles that 45. This handgun is an absolute beast with the 45 round, especially with some of the defensive ammo they're making nowadays. You can get ridiculous velocities out of this handgun right here. What I like about it is it's still smaller than a compact, and you can still throw a flush mag in it with a very small print, way that you could print. And it does come with a rail, like the 26 and the 27. And the finish, yeah, my handguns are scratched up or whatever from carry and draw and, hitting them on the holster on accident. Because, we're not perfect with draws and stuff like that. But overall, the finish on Glocks just lasts. I don't care. It looks scratched up. It looks whatever. But you can't even tell when I go like this. You cannot even tell. And who cares? It's just a finish. Everything else functions on this handgun. It really does. Absolutely love the Glock 30. And this is the SF edition, if you guys were wondering. And last but not least, it's not one of my most carried, I guess you could say, but it is my most carried in the woods. And I spent a lot of time shooting in the woods, and that's my Glock 29. This is a handgun, though, I made a video talking about that I'm going to start carrying more often. Some of the defensive ammos they make are super fast, but super light, so they don't over penetrate, and that is just perfect with the Glock 29, especially with multiple attackers having one shot stopping power. This handgun is an absolute beast. When I'm in the woods, though, I carry it with a 15-round mag, making it 16 rounds of 200 grain hardcast. But this handgun right here is it's just one of those ones. It doesn't malfunction, and you just feel the power with every single round. Hope you guys enjoyed the list. Thanks for watching.